On the lunge, I think it's really important to make sure you get down there just like on the squat. A lot of people go shallow on those, go way too heavy. I see guys do.
Now, he's doing an interesting exercise here. It's a lunge, and these people are walking by and they're watching this guy. He's got a magnificent physique. And it's very easy for people to say, aha, that's the secret. That's the trick. He's got these beautiful hamstrings, got beautiful glutes. That must be the exercise of choice. But we can break this down mechanically. We can break this down from a biomechanical standpoint, from a logical standpoint, and assess how much this is contributing versus how much the squat was contributing and the leg press and all that.
I see guys doing 185.
Now he's dropping down, right? So that front leg is going straight down. The femur of the left leg there is what is crossing resistance. You can't see it, of course, but you know where that leg is, and you know that it's coming down, and it's basically parallel with the ground, perpendicular to gravity. So that means that left glute is what is fully loaded right now. Now, as he steps forward, his direction of movement is actually slanting slightly forward, and that actually activates the quad more by the fact that he's moving in a forward direction and stopping his forward advancement with the activation. Now, if he was pushing back, he'd get more glute and less quad, but because he's going forward, he's getting a little bit more quad and a little bit less glute.
I actually go pretty light on these. Start off with quarters on each side, which is 95 pounds.
Now, he's lifting that bag leg up and he's contracting his glute. Is that good or is that bad? Well, it's never bad to contract the muscle, right? If I contract my chest right now, is that bad? No, it's not bad. Is it contributing to my overall development? Probably very little because it's not loaded, right? So when he lifts that leg up, the only thing he's actually lifting is the weight of his leg. It's not loaded. So that lift he's doing right there, and it's also activating his hamstring a little bit, is producing much less of a growth effect than it would be if he was loaded. It's safe to say the glutes, the activation that he got from squats is far more productive than the glute activation he's getting here.
Pounds and go up to 135.
And even the glute activation he's getting when he's coming down, that's a productive activation.
That's more important to execute the move correctly. Going all the way down until your knee touches the ground. And then I believe it's really important to think about the glute, hamstring, everything when you're stepping up.
Now he's talking about thinking about the glute and thinking about the hamstring. And of course, I applaud that. I always think that people should not think about anything other than the exercise they're doing when they're doing the exercise. When I see people talking during an exercise, I have to shake my head. There's so much going on during an exercise. Not only in terms of what you should be doing to prevent an injury, but just you want to make sure that you're doing full range of motion, that you're not compromising your form, that you're maximizing the contraction. Thinking about it is definitely a productive thing.
I like to kick that opposite leg back and really squeeze the glute to get a good feel for that.
You know, the lunge itself, because it's a one-legged exercise, has a degree of instability. Lunges are a very, very common way of training, a common exercise for this trend of people that are now doing core exercises. They believe that balance and coordination of balance and being off balance is a really, really good thing. I wouldn't say that the way he's doing it very slowly and methodically. I wouldn't say there's a high risk, but I would say that it's not as stable as I would like to have it be. I don't do a lunge. I think again, he's doing basically a one-legged squat when he's doing a lunge. And so you could do a two-legged squat with a little bit more resistance and get just as good an effect on the muscles that are involved in both exercises. So I wouldn't recommend a lunge. But again, I think that what people tend to do is people tend to try to bring as much variety into their workout as possible because they think, in my opinion mistakenly, that by doing more and more variety that you're somehow stimulating the muscle better. I don't believe that's true. I think muscles do one thing. Quads do one thing, they extend the knee. Glutes do one thing, they extend the hip. When you do the one thing that muscle does, it develops the way it's going to develop.